G'day viewers, my name's Graeme Stevenson and I'd like to invite you to come on a journey of creativity and learning and adventure through the series Colour in Your Life. There's an artist in every family throughout the world, and lots of times there's an artist deep down inside all of us as well. So grab your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles and mums and dads and come and see how some of the best artists in Australia do what they do.
Hello.
Oh, hiya, Graeme.
Hello, Amanda.
Hello, nice to see you.
You too, darling. How are you?
Oh, very good. Ready to do some painting.
Yes, let's go and do
Let's go. We're going over to the shed today.
It's a huge studio.
It's a huge shed. 10-car shed. Best place to paint. Let's go.
Let's go. It's fantastic.
Welcome to my TARDIS. And of course, it's much bigger on the inside.
Thank you.
Thank you, after you.
Well, g'day guys and welcome back to Colour in Your Life. Well, we're down in Melbourne, well, just outside Melbourne, I suppose, at a beautiful little town called Sheakes. And once again with the very, very talented Amanda Hyatt. How are you, darling?
Hello, Graeme. Nice to see you again.
It's excellent. Good. Actually in Amanda's studio, and it's probably the largest studio I've ever seen in my life. It's a fantastic place. And Amanda's going to take us through a watercolour today, but it's going to be a watercolour of a yacht.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Before we start, gentlemen, we'd like to mention Mr. Luke Senior from Senior's Art Supplies. Luke has been fantastic in the process of supporting the artists.
Absolutely.
And supporting Colour in Your Life.
Especially myself.
Oh, absolutely,
yes, and the Daniel Smith paints that I'm promoting.
That's correct.
And all his shops, 3 locations, Melbourne, Malvern and Frankston, all well supplied and always full of the latest products and the best.
Yeah, and Luke's such a fantastic guy. He really encourages everybody to come on board, and this is really about delivering the message of creativity and what art is all about. And having an internationally renowned artist like Amanda on the show is just an extraordinary position for us to be in as well. So, but we're going to get right into this today. I'm going to probably ask you some questions as we go along.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But you know, you're about to witness one of the best teachers, one of the best workshop teachers for watercolours in the world. And I just think it's fantastic to sit down and watch this woman work. So let's go and do a yacht.
Look forward to it.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Well, today we're going to do a studio painting. I have an image that is going to be my reference point. I'm not necessarily going to copy it.
Yep.
And that is going to be how I'm going to bring my 5 points of how to finish this painting without doing a lot of detail, because I see the big picture and I pull it all in. So the first point, of course, is to draw it up omitting a lot of detail and positioning it correctly on the sheet. Composition is my first point of absolute necessity. Secondly, I'm going to choose colours. I quite like the colours, so I'm going to stick to the browns and the greens and the blacks and the whites in the picture. The third thing is the tone. The tonal values are light, middle and dark. They're absolutely essential in a painting, and you have to have enough darks to make your lights actually work. And the fourth point, the art of a painting, where you create by glazing and by darkening and so forth. And the fifth thing, pulling it together at the end. I think I counted once there were 57 pieces of rigging in this painting. Well, 27 will do, you don't have to put in all the 57.
Fair enough.
So you pick out what you want to use and then you pull it together. The painting has a lot of things that I don't want to put in it, like metal attachments where the sails go on or the ropes attached to. There are 7 or 8 people, and to indicate that it's a boat with people on it, 1 person is necessary only. So you look at what you're presented with and you see It's a fantastic image, and I think the colours are wonderful. I think the movement in it and the light is just a really good picture to explain my style, definitely. And with that said, I think you'll understand a little bit more as I proceed through the painting.
Sounds fantastic.
Piece of art.
Piece of art, away we go.
Piece of art, away we go. So drawing it up to start with, first of all we need to put the horizon of where the water meets the sky, of course. So you can do it thirds or you can do it fifths. I think in this case, maybe halfway between, but never horizon goes on a half line. And don't know whether people actually are aware that if you do things on the half, it splits your painting into two. Then you have a difficult time joining the segments. So you basically have two paintings, and try as you might to make it work, it will never work if it's split in half. Say there are buildings up there and water down here, unless you have joining things, it still doesn't work if it's dead in the middle. Often you can get around it by cropping the finished product and things like that, all sorts of tricks. So we'll get this in, which is a mast, and the boat is on an angle that comes round like that. It's quite rough water. I don't know the first thing about a boat, so I won't dare to say what's what. To me, they're just bits of wood, so I apologise to all the sailors out there.
All the yachties.
All the yachties that know all the names, but I'll endeavour to just call them mast and rigging, that'll do. So the sail on the boom, I don't like the angle it's sitting, so I'm going to push it out that way. That's my artistic licence to do that.
Okay.
Then there's a little boat sailing on in the background here, which is worth putting in with a sail. Sit it up there. Figures are always really good to have in a painting. It's all in the attitude of the person, and at this stage I'm not going to worry about feet and hands and things. Legs, knees are the most important part of drawing a figure. They go in. He's a lone sailor and he's doing pretty well with his yacht.
He's on a big ocean.
Okay, all right. So that's point one done drawing. So we'll launch into point two, which is the colour, which is going to be basically the same as these nice browns. So with that, we will start. First of all, I want to show you a couple of tricks.
Okay.
Just with masking tape. I don't use masking fluid, but masking tape certainly comes in handy. So if you want to do a straight line, just put tape either side and paint between. Just a good quality masking tape will just lift off. So just paint between to start it off. I'm just going to use the one colour, the burnt sienna colour, and we'll put some detail on it after. Just a synthetic brush, just a reasonably priced synthetic brush.
Yep.
And take the tape off and you should have some straight lines, which saves all that agony.
We've got a mast and away we go.
Got it, mast, off we go. I use certain brushes, like a square brush for a certain shape. So where you've got a square shape, like this boom type thing out here, use the appropriate size brush. You can't really do a lot, cover a lot of area with a tiny brush, so a nice synthetic bouncing back flat brush works for me. I'm just putting on where I see this colour, and it's a good skin colour too, so
give him a suntan.
Yep, you can afford to go in fairly strong because it does fade back and it's impressionist, so it's sort of about deceiving the eye. Okay, we'll just do some more shaping. So I'm going into sepia where it's got a bit darker. Just used two colours to start with. I'm looking where the dark shapes are. You can go in thick now to get it a bit stronger. Sepia mixes really well with ultramarine to give a nice strong dark colour. So what the trick is now is to just pick up with a hake, just get a hake brush and
nice big hake brush.
Nice big hake, and just catch some of the paint and just let it run around. You don't have to put on, you just use the water.
Yep.
Just use the water and pull it round and dissolve it a bit. Might leave that white, that just dirty water does a million jobs. Like you want to just dull the white back a bit. It will take the glare off the white. Not worry about the drips, and perhaps put a bit of grey sort of flooring type stuff on it. And just let it sit there for a minute. You don't want too many drips, so just be careful. Just wipe them back. I don't usually paint vertically, so I wouldn't expect a student, unless they were pretty keen to paint vertically, I'd expect them to lie the board down. The beauty about watercolour is just let it do its own thing to a certain extent and watch what happens to it and work with what it presents you, and you get lovely things happening. Okay, the sail, make it a bit of a pinky colour, so a bit of alizarin, lemon yellow, and again, nice and wet, sort of put that up there. Quickly, really quickly, just do it and watch your drips again. But just do it quickly and let it happen. Be confident, don't, there's nothing worse than seeing a watercolourist trying to fill this in, you know?
Sure.
To fill this in. It's got to be done nice and freely, and because then you get the running together of the paint and it does what it's supposed to do. All right, this is still wet, so I want to indicate that there's some shadows on it. So I'm just using cerulean and purple just to get a bit of wet in wet sort of markings on it. It's going to have shadows on it, but it's got all these lovely canvas stitching lines and a bit of shadow. I might dress him now, put some clothes on him, and we'll just do some ultramarine shorts. Now the trick is just run it into the legs and then get a square brush and sort of move the paint round and run it down into his legs so it all joins together and doesn't stand out too much. There's no edge on them. Then with the square brush, clean water, just take it up the side, run it into his arms, bring it together, and put a hat on him in something like the same ultramarine. And again with a little square brush, it's just in the touch, sort of run it in so you don't know where the face, the shirt and the hat start. If you want to do horizons and you've got a wobbly hand, masking tape again, just make sure you put it above the water, not below, or you get a nice, just straight across everything. And we'll go with the watercolour. So for the watercolour, it's a sort of grey-green, so I'm going to use cerulean and burnt sienna and a bit of viridian, a grey green. Let's just start really thin. So thin, thin, thin. It doesn't matter if it touches.
Yeah.
You just don't want a halo around a person or a pole or something like that. You can actually go straight over the top. So we'll just do that round the sail on the boat and front of the boat and around there, down there. How about that, for luck? The drip went round the edge of the boat.
How's that?
And then drip. That was lucky, I reckon.
That was planned. She planned that.
I planned that, yep. That was deliberate. Now, that you should learn. Okay, get it darker. So I'm darkening it up. So it's still sepia this time, and viridian, cerulean, sepia. Oh, a bit of burnt sienna. But we're just going to continue it down with confidence, with a thick brush, holds lots of paint.
Yep.
So just take that right to the bottom, and we're going to come back and put some white gouache on it, and that'll be the water, the white water and so forth that you want. I don't have a hesitation using gouache at all. In the right place, it looks fantastic. It works better than Chinese white because Chinese white dissolves too much and you have to do it over and over and over again. So let's take the tape off, see if it did what it was required.
There you go.
And if I hadn't remembered to do that, there's another mistake. I'm doing all these mistakes deliberately so I can show you how to fix them.
There you go.
There you go. So big mistake there because I painted above the tape.
Okay.
So we fix that, easy peasy. One good way to do little boats is just do an ultramarine bottom and a burnt sienna top, just like that. And then get a square brush, just a single line, get a square brush, dirty water or clean water, and just go from back to front and join them together, and it just bleeds it into the boat. If you ever do people, do 3 of them and not 2 of them. Odd numbers are always better than even numbers. Right, now I'm going to finish off the little boat over here. So just fix the sails up and cover up that mistake, and we'll put some rigging up there. And you won't see it after a bit, but just fill that in and leave it alone. Now we're going to put the shadows on the whole thing. So that's going to be straight ultramarine. This is 0.4, this is my step 4, glazing in ultra. So it's just a very thin wash of straight ultramarine glaze for 0.4. You have to set time. So I'm going to set the sun up in the right-hand corner. Shadows on there, shadows all over here, then we're going to go in and pull it all out. So we'll start at the bottom and on halfway up and just flick it round a bit.
Obviously with all of your travels across the world, you're in France, Italy, New Zealand, Australia, England, Denmark and Germany coming up as well. You do all of that with Travel Right?
Travel Right International.
Yep.
2 offices in Heathmont and Balwyn. Terrific. Sean Wallace and his family. Great business, and I've done 6 or 7 trips with them now. We have a great time, so would love you all to come with me this year to... Where am I going, Graeme?
Well, you're going all over the place, but you're actually doing a Baltic cruise as well.
Yes, that's right.
So that's pretty impressive as well. So if anybody wants to go along, they can just go to Travel Right and their website and have a look.
Travel Right International.
Yeah,
They're
and they can see what's going on.
I have people coming from America and England and Sweden and Norway and New Zealand.
Fantastic. Great way to learn how to do watercolour painting, travel the world at the same time.
Yes, it is. But the thing is, there's also great stuff in your own backyard, and Travel Right are also giving me, in 3 weeks, a Tasmanian tour.
Okay.
A Tasmania of the wilderness section area and all that. So, you know, that's a great part of Australia to go to.
That's wonderful.
All right. I'm going to cast some shadows over the boat, and this is what makes the magic happen, and this is where people are hesitant to go. So across the front here, down into the depths of the boat,
Yep.
down into the depths along the sides here, along there, and the rigging is going to sort of cast a few shadows across there, so you can put your shadows in first. You can always go darker. This is just fantastic. This Daniel Smith black's nearly my favourite, with the transparent red oxide and the sepia. And the mast, of course, will have all sorts of things attached to it, and straight lines are a visual nightmare, so it's good to sort of break them up, you know, put things, just dots and dashes up the side. Don't forget that. Detail where it's necessary is good. And once again, a bit of burnt sienna. It's disappeared, so as I said before, you can always go back and build it up again. Don't be frightened of the paint. This should be liberating to some people. They probably thought they had to make it all neat, but to me, imperfection is better than perfection. It just gives the eye places to go. You don't become stagnant. The painting moves around, and it offers the viewer more interest, I think. We better put the boom on. I think I got that right.
Yeah.
Is it a boom?
Yeah, if it's out the front.
What's that?
That's a boom, yeah.
That's a boom?
Yeah.
Okay. Just don't make it straight, make it broken. Lots of lifting the paintbrush and putting it down again. Drag it, lift it, put it down, drag it, lift it, put it down. And always finish in a dot, you know, or something, because it's like golf, follow through. Follow through, and you'll go into the hole better if you follow through. You follow through, sort of thing. So we'll just do the water. A lot of people hate using white, but look, for something like this, I think it actually adds to it in a certain way.
And that's gouache, is it?
Just white gouache, a fair bit of it.
Yep.
So we'll just bring it in and take it out, move it around. And it also covers up a whole lot of areas that you really have a problem with. And down the bottom, it'd be really good to have that super dark, so to take your eye right down there. I like a darker front, because a darker front always throws you. All right. But this is meant to be done quickly. Now the rigging. So the best way to do rigging is to turn it on the side. And if you're left-handed, you do it the other way, of course. But for a right-handed rigger, you would turn it to the right and get a nice long-handled rigger. Do 27 rigger strokes, and I mean serious rigger strokes. And don't do them straight, cross them over, and cross them over the things you've already done. So maybe start with going through his hand,
Yep.
and up through his other hand, so he looks like he's holding something. There's no way to do this with a ruler. You just have to be confident. That's why it's easier on the side.
But you're actually rolling your body along as well.
Yeah, and move your body along too. So your body's doing the work, basically.
Yeah.
get a few coming from goodness knows where. As long as they don't come from out in the ocean, you can have them coming in from all sorts of places. Just with the white that's left over, it's got a nice white sort of silvery railing around it. They're closer together at the back. It's totally random, so, you know, I like lost and found, so I smudge them here and there.
Yeah.
And just put a couple of white ones in, and we're nearly done.
But it's amazing what you can create.
Well, that's what it is, art. Totally a creative process.
And it's not fiddling until you kill the paper.
That's it.
It's just pure all the way through.
Yep. I just want to put in some rope. There's some wonderful ropes. Where you've got a dark area and you don't know what to do, just put, you know, a couple of ropes down there and cross it over and, and a couple of lines down there.
Wow.
And something in over his feet, over his knees. Okay, the last thing, I forgot to do the mast, so just whip that in. A couple of dots. I love dots and dashes, so I'm not going to put a face on him. The faceless sailor, that's fine. All action and moving. There we go. I think we're done, Graeme.
It's absolutely amazing. Really well done.
An impressionistic action painting.
Well
Good.
done.
Thank you very much. Okay, cool.
Okay guys, another fantastic day with a very talented impressionistic watercolour artist. That's a big mouthful, isn't it?
Thank you,
Amanda,
Graeme, it's been terrific.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure being here with you again.
Lovely.
Now, there's some people that we'd like to thank before we go. Firstly, Daniel Smith. Daniel Smith plays a big part in a lot of the great watercolour artists throughout the world.
Great paints.
Great
That's
paints,
why.
obviously, with you
Yes.
as well. So you can get all of these paints at Luke Senior's art supply stores in Melbourne. They've got 3 locations down here. Luke's a fantastic guy. He's so supportive of
Absolutely.
everything we're doing.
Yes.
He's a really amazing man. And also, Travel Right International. Now, Amanda and a lot of our great watercolour artists and our great artists travel the world teaching people in some of the most wonderful and exotic locations on the planet.
It's been good.
You guys have a ball, don't you?
Yeah.
So if you want to come along and learn from some of these amazing people, just contact Travel Right International and they'll be able to give you all the details about their world travels with art. Now, your website is?
It's just Google Amanda Hyatt and
Amanda
it comes
Hyatt?
up.
AmandaHyatt.com?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Go in and see Amanda. She's got some fantastic work in there. Come into our website as well. We've got all of these amazing people in our system, YouTube as well. We're on Vimeo these days. We're on social networks just about everywhere. You can also come in and like us on our Facebook page. And remember, colourinayourlife.com.au. And until we meet again, as we always say, remember, make sure you put some colour in your life. And thanks for watching, guys.
Absolutely.
See you now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.